as I was running for United States Senate, our election was stolen here in Massachusetts in September of 2020. We had 3,000 volunteers, 25,000 lawn signs. We won that primary. And the Republicans stole the election, not the Democrats or Republicans. For me, I was running as a Republican. And out of that event, I discovered that the fact that the election systems are rigged at the machine level, they destroy ballot images of the ballots, which are supposed to be preserved for 22 months. And it was my work that showed that the mail-in ballot signature verification process is completely flawed. When I started tweeting about that in September of 2020, I've never been thrown off Twitter. I was thrown off in the middle of my US Senate campaign. So I'm a political candidate. And who threw me off was a government contacted Twitter because I was exposing the government, which is the biggest violation of speech, the First Amendment. And no lawyer wanted to defend me. I had to do it on my own. And in federal court, we had a major victory. Our lawsuit in 2020, October of 2020, discovered the fact that the government, all governments have created a backdoor portal into Twitter where government tells social media companies what to do. This is in 2020. And we informed Tucker Carlson, Glenn Greenwald, and all these fuckers who were part of the intelligence agency, didn't do anything. They suppressed our lawsuit, but 500 million people came to know about it because we did video after video after video. But meanwhile, these so-called people who claim they're fighting against freedom intentionally concealed that lawsuit. So our lawsuit is the one who discovered this backdoor portal. So intimately, I know about it because in federal court, we won that. And then we sued not only to get back on Twitter, but I sued those government officials. And the judge initially gave me a victory, but then he wanted me to drop all the claims against the government. And if people go to winbackfreedom.com, you'll see everything we documented. We discovered the entire infrastructure in detail. It's a PhD thesis, how the government silences speech. In 2020, Tucker Carlson concealed it. Glenn Greenwald concealed it. All of these people sat on it. All the Twitter files was all bullshit because all those guys come out of the intelligence agency. You see, they plagiarized our lawsuit and just told people a little bit of it. It's a CIA technique called a limited hangout. And all these stupid conservatives, oh, thank you, Elon Musk, bowing down to him when Elon Musk has never created anything in his whole life. Elon Musk was brought in to make the conservatives feel like he was their fighter for free speech. Meanwhile, we now have censorship 10.0. So in October, when I was put back on Twitter, I did not thank Elon Musk because I know he's a scumbag. I said, hey, Elon, why don't you make me your CEO? That got 20 million views. And after that, I started hammering Elon Musk. Are you going to remove the backdoor portal to Twitter? My views went from 500,000 views per day down to 10,000 views. And I'm a US presidential candidate. Meanwhile, anyone else who sucked him off and said, oh, thank you, Elon, like Booby fucking Kennedy, Tucker Carlson, they get promoted because they're all part of the swarm. So the bottom line is the government tells social media companies what to do. My lawsuit exposed that. It was concealed. There's only one solution to this, and I'll tell you the heart of the problem. In England in 2017 is when, by the way, the British do not believe in the First Amendment. They hated America got the First Amendment. What does the First Amendment say? It says government, or Congress specifically, shall pass no laws that abridge freedom of speech. That's 1791, December 1791. One of the most historic opportunities for humanity. So 3% of the world population gets to speak and critique their government. No one else has that. None of the Commonwealth countries have that right, still to this day. But on November 16, 2018, a scumbag called Donald Trump, who I initially supported until I realized that what he was about. Donald Trump is the one who misled all the white working class. He's the one who signed the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency Act into law, which destroys the First Amendment. Every member of the House of Representatives voted unanimously. Every member of the Senate, unanimous consent. That's pure fascism. If Hillary Clinton had done that, there would have been a revolution in the United States. So Trump was also a selection. He was a white guy put in after Obama, the black guy, to manipulate the white working class to think he was fighting something, but he was executing everything the trillionaires wanted. He made sure Fauci wasn't fired. He made sure Pfizer went from 40 billion to 100 billion. He made sure his son-in-law got $2 billion. He's the real fucker. And all these people thinking he's their savior, he's an actor. And I was in the heat of all this. So the bottom line is CISA must be repealed overnight. Okay? It destroys the First Amendment. There's no more freedom of speech on social media. And Musk, where Elon Musk begins and government ends, nobody knows. All right? So it's all a theater that's being played out. So the future, as I say, for our campaign, we have this flyer which describes our campaign. And if you look at this flyer, you'll find out that for the last 70 years, the life expectancy of the United States public is going down. And it's not the vaccines. It's many things have been done by the Republicans and Democrats, liberals and conservatives, left and right. To your point, to destroy families, to destroy community, because the number one reason people live long is community. If you have a child in the United States now, your child will have a shorter lifespan than you. And the lockdowns accentuated that. So we live in a very important time that we need to recognize that we have the not so obvious establishment, the Trumps, the Russell Brands, the Joe Rogans, the Fucker Carlsons, the booby fucking Kennedys. We're all part of this. Tulsi Gabbard, they're being created to make people think everything is okay. Vote for them. They're all part of it. And our movement, my running for office, and guys like you, we're the only ones exposing that. So people need to let go of all this bullshit to think all these people are fighting for us. They're not one of us. They didn't come from below. I have, and many of you have come from below. These people are part of the establishment. They know people are starting to wake up and they want to peel away. So they're creating these fake heroes. But when it comes to censorship, it comes back to the same thing. Over the next, I believe the next 24 months maximum, they want to have centralized digital currencies. It's 3-part digital cage. They want to make sure every carbon tax is tracked. And the third piece of it is your iPhone is basically your cage. And government controls social media. So you have the full tracking of your spending, carbon tax, and your conversations. And the only way out of this is a systems overhaul. This is why 10,000 people are controlling 8 billion people. George Soros is a theoretician in system science. He wrote the reflexivity theory. Okay. So, I used to teach all this stuff at MIT. So I've taken all that knowledge and made it accessible for everyone. And you can educate your children on it. But people should learn system science long before they learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's number one. My running for president, and by the way, globally, people go get this bumper sticker that says shatter the swarm, and in this flyer that we have, you hand it out, people can get the QR code, but in 15 minutes, people can understand the systems dynamics of the elites. Free. People should go learn this stuff, because unless you understand who the enemy is and how they're using system science, and you think you're going to fight them voting for any one of these fucking idiots, you're fucked. The future is you. The future is us collectively organizing bottoms up. And when you get to that point, you have to recognize that there is a science to building a movement. And without that science, you're very naive to think you're going to go build an airplane without understanding Bernoulli's principle. You're not going to be able to build a motor without understanding Maxwell's equations. You're not going to be able to build a movement without understanding the science that I've uncovered. And anyone can learn it. You don't have to be a nerd. You don't have to have 4 degrees from MIT. The elites learn it. So the future is we understand this dynamic. And this is why I am unequivocal on exposing these scumbags. And right now, this is the age of scumbags. Russell Brand is a vile scumbag. Don't have any sympathy for him. He was created by them. He always was a vile scumbag. By the way, the swarm always promotes vile scumbags because they have shit on them. If they get out of line, then they quote unquote attack them. But when they attack them, they drive more views to those vile scumbags, and you feel sorry for these guys. You see, they have it down to a science. The future is you. And that's why, the things I recommend people do is if you're in the United States, go get one of these bumper stickers, go to Shiva for president. Why do I say that? Because when you put this on your car, 100,000 people see it. You can't get that attention on social media. But get this flyer, print it on black and white printers, hand it out to your friends, educate them on what's happening to life expectancy, because that's something very real to people, that their children right now are going to have a shorter lifespan, and they will realize the way we got there is a systems problem, and we need a systems overhaul. Right. And you have to go look at what did they do in March of 2020. That's a litmus test. And you have to be very careful who you choose as your leaders. And my view is I'm just a catalyst. Go to Truth, Freedom, and Health. Understand that you have to be a leader now. You have to become the heroes. And we have to understand this dynamic of manipulation. Otherwise, you're a fool. And I remember, our leaders reflect our consciousness. You got to raise your consciousness to understand. And one person who understands this becomes a significant force.
I love it. Yep. I love it. Where can they find this information, sir? To get bump and stickers and everything.
Number one, go to Shiva #4 president.com. Okay. Number two, go to truthfreedomhealth.com. Become a warrior scholar. And you notice I haven't asked for any money, which all these candidates do. If people donate to us, we give them information. We give them knowledge. We give them the courses. The mission of this campaign is to create a change in consciousness. So people, if they want to donate that way, they can. I mean, if you guys can, and we're just so busy, if you guys want to help us do the implementation, let's do it.
I'd be one of the first ones to donate. I've done very well for myself. I've been in crypto since 2017, and so I don't mind donating to someone who has such a phenomenal vision as you do, sir. So it's been an honor. Edo, take it away.
Oh, absolutely. I think Dr. Shiva has a great opportunity here to accept XRP donations. We know that I think Kennedy was accepting Bitcoin donations, so right. XRP is way faster than that, and the transaction fees are also lower. So in the end of the day, it's just a win-win situation.
Let's do it. Let's do it because, the opportunity we're doing in the States running for president, that's on Shiva for president. But a lot of people outside of the United States, they can't donate to U.S. campaign, but they can contribute to our movement, which is global. Okay. So those of you listening, remember every Thursdays, we do a open house where all of you are invited. Go to vashiva.com/orientation, 11 a.m. a.m. and 8 p.m. this Thursday. So do that. Again, go get one of these bumper stickers. It's a simple way you can contribute to everything we're doing and put it on the back of your car. This is for the United States and this is for globally. Shatter the swarm. All right? Because you cannot donate to a U.S. campaign. But if you want to support the movement, go here. And then finally, go to Shiva for President, download one of these flyers. And it's about educating your neighbors. So this is a way you can be an overnight activist. Download it, print it. You don't have to print it in color, print it in black and white. But this is about you. And if you want, and we highly recommend people because I've made the entire infrastructure available to everyone, become a truth, freedom, and health warrior so you can become an agent of change in your community and fundamentally change the world. The world does not need followers. It needs people to lead. But if you're going to lead a movement, for God's sakes, understand the science of what it takes. It took me 50 years to put this together, so take advantage of it. All right, guys, thank you.
Dr. Shiva, all I can say to you is keep doing your work, and you are a person that really inspired me to become who I am today. So thank you.
That's great, man. Be well. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.